that when we look at what money is going to be spent in NIL over the course of this season, annually, but certainly this year specifically, from what I understand, Texas is somewhere in the $15 to $20 million a year range, spread out across its entire program, 85-man roster. What is that actually from an average standpoint? Just out of curiosity, if we did 20 million, I'm just curious. We divided that by 85. Was that like 235,000 a year per player, which doesn't sound crazy, right? I mean, it's probably not too far away from that. And it gives you an idea that that's 235 for if every single player on scholarship was making 235, you'd get to 20 million. So, I'm getting told 15, 20 million. Who knows? Maybe there's a little bit of an undersell in terms of what people want to have get out publicly. But the sense that I have is that Texas is absolutely a top 5 in the country NIL program. I think Texas fans can feel good about that. I think one of the things that you've got to understand is that, and there are a few things. One, schools are catching up significantly. So we've seen that Oregon has figured out their stuff. We know that Ohio State, I think a couple of years ago, was still trying to figure it out. Now they're locked in. You've got Louisville and Miami and Ole Miss, and there are schools across the country that, and USC, I think, has finally kind of figured it out after being a little bit of fool's gold early on in the NIL era. Let me pull up. Oh, hold on. Speaking of 5 stars, what up, Alfio? Just a shout out to one of the very first 5 stars that Texas ever landed back in the early days of recruiting. I was thinking about that 1999 class, Alfio, earlier today, wondering what that group would have looked like in 2024 parameters. How much money would Alfio, while you're out there, if you were a recruit 25 years later, what would your NIL number be? Just curious, because I was thinking about you. I was thinking about Chris Sims. I was thinking about Corey Redding, Bo Scaife, all of the guys that were in that 1999 class. I was wondering how much would that group have cost 25 years later if they had the advantages of the class today. Let me pull this up because I think this is a really big part of the discussion and maybe helping everybody kind of understand where we are today. I did this over the weekend. It is my consensus super blue chip rankings.